Ladies and gentlemen, in the current state of the conflict between the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, ENDF, and Amhara Fano forces within the Amhara region, the latest reports bring forth a series of significant developments, shedding light on the intense and evolving nature of the fighting. Commencing with the situation in Ashafere, situated in western Gojam, the persistent and ferocious clashes that have endured since yesterday have garnered attention. According to reports, Fano forces assert that they have dealt a severe blow to the ENDF by decimating 200 soldiers dispatched from Bahirdar. The aftermath is marked by heavy losses on the side of the ENDF, encompassing wounded soldiers and the destruction of military vehicles. As the gravity of the situation intensifies, additional reinforcements are reportedly en route to address the unfolding crisis. Transitioning to Este on the Samada Road in southern Gondar, reports emanate of unabating and intense confrontations. Fano forces claim a significant victory by successfully neutralizing the 31st Brigade of ENDF Soldiers, a triumph that allegedly includes the involvement of Tigray Soldiers among the casualties. Notably, the Amhara Fano contends that Tigray soldiers are actively participating in the conflict alongside the ENDF within the Amhara region. However, as of now, conclusive visual evidence supporting this claim is yet to be received. In the districts of Enkoy and Debre Isis in eastern Gojam, the conflict has taken a devastating turn as Fano forces claim to have effectively dismantled an entire regiment of ENDF soldiers. The toll on the NDF is reported to be staggering, with losses reaching 70%, and the destruction of reinforcements sent to the area further compounds the dire situation. Reports indicate a grim scene with numerous ENDF soldiers losing their lives and military vehicles lying in ruin. Shifting attention to Janora in Dabat, located in northern Gondar, the theater of conflict unfolds with intensified vigor. Fano forces proudly declare that they have successfully thwarted both the initially dispatched force and the subsequent reinforcements. Adding a layer of modern warfare, reports suggest the utilization of drone attacks in this particular engagement. In the most recent updates from the evolving dynamics of the conflict in Ethiopia, particularly in the North Gondar region, a significant setback has been reported for the Ethiopian army in Karbita. The latest accounts indicate that more than 600 members of the army have faced decommissioning following a heavy defeat. Disturbingly, reports suggest that this retreating army, having abandoned the front line, is now engaged in reprehensible activities, including the torture of the elderly and children, imposing financial fines, and abusing the local populace under the pretext of their perceived lack of support for Fano forces. Shifting focus to eastern Amhara, under the leadership of Wakao Mirawajo, the Fano forces continue to make notable progress, securing victories in various engagements. Specifically, it is reported that out of the 45 kabeles in Raya Kobo, 34 are now under the control of East Amhara Fano, reflecting a strategic shift in the balance of power in the region. In a counter-offensive move, the Ethiopian army, reportedly entering North Gondar to confront the Amhara Fano in Ajre Janora Dabat, faced significant injuries, signaling the complexities and challenges of the military operations in the area. Tragically, a drone attack near Mersa city resulted in the loss of around 30 innocent lives at a location known as Gubala Georgis. This underscores the devastating impact of modern warfare techniques on civilian populations caught in the crossfire. In Gubara and Guba Lafto, near Sirinka in northern Wello, reports indicate that the Ethiopian government has ordered drone attacks, resulting in the destruction of a school, further exacerbating the toll on civilian infrastructure. The situation in southern Wello sees the capture of several towns by Fano forces, prompting the Ethiopian National Defense Forces, ENDF, to relocate its command center from Dessie to Kombolcha and Kemise. indicative of the strategic challenges faced by the government forces. Tragedy unfolds in Mida, northern Shua, as 23 local officials dispatched to enforce tax payments from Amhara civilians have been reported killed, shedding light on the human cost and local implications of the conflict. In Haga Mariam, also situated in northern Shua, the loss of 2 Amhara prosperity security heads has been reported, underscoring the toll on security personnel in the region. Scholars often disagree about what causes a crisis in a country. For the past 30 years, there has been an ongoing debate about the nature of Ethiopia's crisis. While many agree that Ethiopia is facing a crisis, there are differing opinions about whether the federal system in Ethiopia is a major cause. Some argue about different political systems like unitary, federalism, and confederation. Some see federalism as more democratic, while others view it as dictatorial. There are also concerns about changing the federal system, with some seeing it as dangerous. These controversial issues limit open discussions and hinder efforts for change. This paper aims to briefly explain how Ethiopia's federal system has affected its socio-economic and political aspects. It focuses on the transitional charter, the proclamation establishing regions based on ethnicity, and the FDRE constitution. The debate on the nature of the constitution continues, with varied opinions depending on individuals' political views. The paper adopts an unbiased approach, emphasizing the definition of crisis, the objectives of a democratic federal system, and the country's reality. The paper argues that ethnic federalism in Ethiopia has caused significant danger. The ongoing crisis is seen as a result of the constitution, which provides means and protection to wrongdoers. To address the crisis, the paper recommends avoiding ethnic policies and emphasizes the necessity of changing the current situation. In the introduction, the paper briefly touches on the ongoing conflict in Ethiopia, particularly in northern Gondar, where the Ethiopian army faced defeat. It highlights Fano forces' progress in eastern Amhara and reports of drone attacks causing casualties. The relocation of ENDF's command center and incidents of violence in different districts further underscore the complexity of the situation. Moving forward, the paper discusses the impact of Ethiopia's federal system on the crisis. It delves into the theoretical aspects, emphasizing the danger of ethnic federalism. The unique aspect of Ethiopia's federalism, being ethnic-based, is emphasized, and concerns about changing the system are challenged. In the section titled The Nature of Ethiopia's Crisis, the paper details the current challenges in Ethiopia, including economic struggles, poverty rates, corruption, and human rights violations. The socio-economic indicators are presented, painting a grim picture of Ethiopia's situation. The paper argues that Ethiopia's crisis is deeply intertwined with its political philosophy, specifically ethnic-based federalism. The section on the causes of the Ethiopian crisis in historical perspective suggests that the current crisis is not new but has historical roots. It points out the role of war, especially the 2020 conflict with the TPLF, as a revealing moment rather than the beginning of the crisis. The inherited issues from previous regimes, exacerbated by new political ideologies, contribute to the unique nature of the current crisis. In conclusion, the paper emphasizes the urgent need for a genuine discussion among scholars and stakeholders to address the root causes of the crisis. It calls for a reassessment of Ethiopia's political philosophy, particularly its ethnic-based federalism, and advocates for swift and rational actions to avert further deterioration. The objective is to encourage a transparent and democratic process to find long-lasting solutions to Ethiopia's complex crisis.